You useless girl. Get out of my son's house now.
No, Mama, I'm sorry. Please don't throw me out.
Get out! You weak, foolish girl. Go on, cry.
She had driven every woman from her son's house, until the day a quiet, respectful girl arrived and turned the tables on Mama Jonny. Will Mama Jonny finally learn the lesson she's been avoiding, or will her cruelty continue? Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and also comment where you are watching from. We would love to know. In a small town of Ukana, there lived a woman named Mama Jonny. She was known far and wide for one thing: she was wicked to every woman her son married. People feared her mouth more than they feared hunger, because Mama Jonny's words could break a heart in one moment. Mama Jonny was tall and strong, with a loud voice that carried across the compound. She believed she was the only woman who truly loved her son, Jonny. In her eyes, no wife could ever care for him the way she did. Whenever Jonny brought a woman home, Mama Jonny would look at her from head to toe and shake her head. "This one," she would say. "This is who you brought into my house. I don't know what you saw in this one." No matter how kind or hardworking the woman was, Mama Jonny always found fault. If the woman cooked well, Mama Jonny said the food had no taste. If the woman cleaned the house, Mama Jonny said the work was slow and careless. If the woman greeted her politely, Mama
No,
Jonny
Mama,
said
I'm
she was
sorry. Please
pretending.
don't throw me out.
The women tried their best, but Mama Jonny never changed. One year, Jonny married a young woman named Sola. Sola was gentle and respectful. On her first day in the house, she knelt down and greeted Mama Jonny. "Good morning, Mama," Sola said softly. Mama Jonny clicked her tongue. "Is that how you greet elders? Raise your head when you talk. This your style will not work for me. I know your type already." Sola's heart beat fast, but she said nothing. From that day on, Mama Jonny troubled her. Early in the morning, she would shout, "Sola, wake up. Are you dead? Or did you give birth last night?" If Sola rested for even a moment, Mama Jonny shouted again, "Lazy girl, is this how you will take care of my son? I don't understand you young girls of these days." At night, Sola cried quietly so Jonny would not hear. When she tried to speak to him, Jonny sighed and said, "Please be patient. That is how my mother is. I'm sure with time, she will get to like you." One evening, dark clouds covered the sky, and heavy rain began to fall. Sola was cooking when Mama Jonny started shouting again. "I am tired of you." Mama Jonny yelled, "Pack your things and leave this house." "Mama, please," Sola begged. "Where will I go? I love your son. Please, forgive me, if I have done anything wrong. I don't care. You are not good enough for my son." Mama Jonny screamed, "Get out." She pushed Sola outside. Rain soaked Sola's clothes as she cried and walked away barefoot on the muddy road. No one stopped Mama Jonny. The next day, Mama Jonny sat with her friends and laughed. "That girl was useless," she said proudly. "She did not know how to behave like a good wife." Some women shook their heads, but no one spoke against her. Jonny heard what happened and felt pain in his heart, but he remained silent. He did not want to get his mom angry, so he accepted everything she said for peace to reign. His silence made Mama Jonny feel powerful. Time passed, and the same thing happened again. Every woman Jonny married was chased away. Each one left with tears. Each time, Mama Jonny blamed the woman and praised herself. One morning, Mama Jonny called Jonny and sat him down. "My son," she said firmly, "I am tired of these bad women you keep bringing home." Jonny nodded slowly. "Mama, I thought they were all good women. Do not worry your pretty head, my son. I know what to do. I will go to the village myself," Mama Jonny continued. "I will choose a good wife for you with my own eyes." Jonny hesitated. "Mama, are you sure?" Mama Jonny stood up straight and said proudly, "I know what is best for you. Remember, I am your mother." That same week, Mama Jonny packed her bag and left the town, believing she was wise and always right. Mama Jonny's journey to the village was long and tiring. She walked on dusty roads where the sun burned her skin during the day and the cold air touched her bones at night. Along the way, she rested under tall trees and slept in small houses offered by kind strangers. Everywhere she went, she spoke proudly. "I am going to choose a wife for my son myself," Mama Jonny told people. "This time, I will not make a mistake." Some people nodded, while others exchanged quiet looks. They had heard stories about Mama Jonny, but they said nothing. After many days, Mama Jonny arrived at a far village surrounded by green trees and quiet paths. One afternoon, as she sat outside a small compound to rest her legs, she noticed a young woman sweeping the ground slowly and carefully. The girl's movements were gentle, and her head was lowered as she worked. Mama Jonny watched her closely. When the girl finished sweeping, she noticed Mama Jonny sitting there. She quickly dropped the broom, walked forward, and knelt down. "Good afternoon, Mama," the girl said politely. Mama Jonny felt something warm in her chest. "This one has good manners," she thought. "What is your name?" Mama Jonny asked. "My name is Abini, Mama," the girl replied softly. Mama Jonny asked many questions. "Where are your parents? Can you cook? Do you respect elders?" Abini answered each question calmly and respectfully. When older people passed by, Abini greeted them properly. Mama Jonny smiled to herself. "This is the wife my son deserves," she said quietly. That evening, Mama Jonny spoke with Abini's family. They welcomed her kindly and agreed to the marriage. Everything happened quickly. Mama Jonny was pleased and proud, believing she had finally chosen well. When they returned home, Jonny was surprised. Abini greeted him properly and knelt before him. "Good evening, my husband," Abini said. Jonny smiled gently. "You are welcome." From the first day, Abini worked very hard. She woke up before sunrise and swept the compound until it was clean. She cooked warm food that filled the house with sweet smells. She washed clothes, fetched water, and kept the home neat. Every morning, she greeted Mama Jonny with respect. "Good morning, Mama." Mama Jonny smiled and nodded. She began to boast to her friends. "Do you see this one? This is my real daughter-in-law. I chose her myself." Jonny felt peace in his heart. The house was quiet. There was no shouting, no fighting. He believed his troubles were over. 2 weeks passed peacefully. Then one afternoon, Mama Jonny sat on her chair and shouted, "Abini, come and bring me food." Abini stood where she was. She wiped her hands and answered calmly, "Mama, if you are hungry, please go and cook for yourself." Mama Jonny froze. "What did you say?" she shouted. Abini lifted her head and replied softly, "Mama, I said what I said." Mama Jonny jumped up angrily. "I will tell my son to throw you out of this house." Abini smiled gently. "Why do you want your son to throw me out? Why can't you do it yourself, the way you do to the other women you threw out?" "Mama, you cannot do anything. Remember, you told my husband that I am a good woman. He will not believe you now. So after shouting, just go in there and make food for yourself." Mama Jonny's heart began to beat fast. For the first time in many years, fear entered her heart. The next morning, Abini handed Mama Jonny a broom. "Mama," Abini said calmly, "please sweep the compound." Mama Jonny stared at the broom. "Sweep," she repeated. "Yes, Mama, sweep the compound. Or did you employ any maid to do that for you?" Abini replied. Mama Jonny wanted to shout, but no words came out. Slowly, she took the broom and began to sweep. Her hands trembled. From that day, Abini gave Mama Jonny work. "Mama, fetch water. Mama, wash the plates. Mama, clean the floor." Mama Jonny obeyed in silence. Her body grew tired, and her heart felt heavy. With every task, she remembered the women she once treated badly. Late one evening, as Mama Jonny swept the compound with aching hands, she whispered to herself, "What is happening? Is this how they felt?" She had no answer. Weeks passed like this, and Mama Jonny's pride slowly began to break without shouting, without insults, but with deep pain. One afternoon, as Mama Jonny bent down to sweep the ground, she heard footsteps at the gate. It was Jonny. Jonny's journey home that evening was shorter than usual. He wanted to surprise his mother and Abini, hoping the house would be peaceful as he had imagined. But the moment he stepped into the compound, he stopped in shock. His mother, Mama Jonny, was bent over a broom, sweeping the red earth floor. Her hands shook slightly, and the proud look he always knew on her face was gone. She looked tired, almost small, and her voice was quiet as she muttered to herself. "Mama!" Jonny called, his voice full of surprise. Why are you sweeping? You look tired and sick, are you okay?" Mama Jonny froze. She did not know what to say. Her heart beat fast, and shame pressed heavily on her chest. Before she could answer, Abini came out of the house with a small smile, though her eyes were calm and careful. "Oh, Jonny," Abini said lightly. "Welcome home." Jonny frowned, stepping closer. "Abini, what is going on? Why is my mother sweeping like this?" Abini smiled faintly. "Oh, nothing serious, Jonny. Mama just said she wanted to move her body a little exercise. No one likes to sit down all day doing nothing, these days. A little movement wouldn't hurt her." Mama Jonny tried to force a weak smile. Yes, my son," she said quietly. Jonny felt uneasy. Something about Abini's calmness did not fit with the truth his heart sensed. That night, after dinner, Jonny called Abini to sit with him. "Abini," he said seriously, "I want you to tell me the truth. What is happening here?" Abini lowered her head, her hands clasped together. Her voice was soft but steady. I did not want you to see it this way, Jonny," she said. Jonny's brow furrowed. "I asked you a question. Please answer me." Tears began to form in Abini's eyes. She slowly knelt on the floor before him. "I am sorry," she said, her voice breaking. "I am very sorry." Jonny was shocked. "Why are you kneeling? Why are you crying?" Abini lifted her head, tears running down her cheeks. "Because I treated your mother the way she treated others. I did it so she could understand what it feels like to hurt someone. I wanted her to feel the pain she caused every woman she chased away." Jonny's hands clenched into fists. You made my mother suffer?" "Yes," Abini said quietly. "But I did not insult her. I did not speak harsh words. I only gave her tasks, sweeping, fetching water, washing plates, so she would see what it felt like to be mistreated." Jonny turned away, struggling to control his anger. "She is my mother," he said. "How could you treat her this way?" Abini's eyes filled with more tears. "I did it because I love you, Jonny. I wanted your mother to change, to see her mistakes, so our home could be a peaceful place." Jonny was silent. His heart ached for both of them. He loved his mother dearly, but he also saw the truth in Abini's words. At that moment, soft footsteps were heard. Mama Jonny walked into the room. Her proud voice was gone. Her eyes were wet with shame. "I heard everything," she said quietly. Jonny turned to her. "Mama." Mama Jonny walked slowly toward them, her head bowed. "My son," she said softly, "do not be angry at her. She only showed me what I needed to see." Jonny stared at her. "Mama, is this true?" Mama Jonny nodded. "Yes. I was cruel for many years. I insulted women, chased them away, and blamed them for my own mistakes. But now I see the pain I caused." Abini's hands trembled. "Mama, I am sorry," she said softly. "I went too far." Mama Jonny shook her head slowly. "No, my daughter. You taught me a lesson I could not learn on my own. I am ashamed, but I understand now." Jonny's anger softened. Tears filled his eyes. I do not know what to say," he murmured. Mama Jonny knelt before Abini. "My daughter, forgive me," she whispered. Abini rushed forward and held her tightly. "I forgive you, Mama," she said. Jonny watched silently, tears streaming down his face. The three of them sat together quietly, the night calm around them. For the first time, peace was real in the house. Mama Jonny understood her mistakes. Abini showed mercy even while giving lessons. Jonny saw both courage and humility in the two most important women in his life. And in that moment, he felt a hope he had never felt before, that their home could finally be filled with love and respect. The next morning, Mama Jonny woke with a heavy heart. She remembered all the women she had hurt and whispered, "I was wrong." Abini entered quietly. "Mama, are you awake?" "Yes, my daughter," Mama Jonny replied. "I must change. I cannot treat anyone like I used to." Later, Jonny returned home. Seeing his mother calm and gentle, he asked, "Mama, are you well?" "I am, my son," she said softly. "From today, this house will be different. Abini, you are no longer my enemy, you are my daughter." Abini smiled through tears. "Thank you, Mama." Mama Jonny nodded. "I will also ask forgiveness from the women I hurt." Jonny embraced them both. "I am proud of you, Mama. And proud of you, Abini." From that day, the house near the Red Earth Roads was filled with peace. Mama Jonny helped Abini with chores, spoke kindly, and no longer raised her voice. Neighbors noticed the change and whispered about the woman who had finally learned kindness. Moral: the pain you give others will return, not to destroy you, but to teach you wisdom. Thank you for watching to the end. Peace, like, subscribe and comment your thoughts. It means a lot to us. See you next time.